Yo, morning. Happy Friday, everybody out there. Nothing like a good weekend. A good weekend of detoxing, staying inside and doing the program. Shout out, that's what you're doing this weekend. I'm actually going to a friend's birthday on Saturday, so it won't be a full court press weekend, but I definitely had my fair share of those. So anyway, so today I was thinking about how my camera is so shaky. I need to get that fixed though. I was thinking about there's an article on Dr. Wilson's website called A Call To Awaken. It's like one of those just random articles, I feel like. You know, when you're on Dr. Wilson's website, there's 1,500 plus articles, you know? And like, sometimes when you come across a certain article, you're like, I don't really know how I got to this particular one, but it's speaking to me in this very deep way. It's kind of odd. So, yeah, the Call to Awaken article is kind of what I'm going to talk about. And like a very brief history of it is, you know, when I first started the program, basically it took me about 10 months to accept it, really, you know? And I'll break it down like the first 3 months, I was pretty happy about it. And then the next 7 months, I was like resisting it heavily and like trying to figure out if I could not do it because it felt like it was sacrificing a whole lot to kind of go down this path and be on this lifestyle. And I was reluctantly doing it, but there was this deep yearning in my soul that just kept dragging me along. I just knew that it was the truth, and I knew that I needed to do it. And I was having a hard time confronting the reality of that because, you know, from the outside looking in, it's extremely weird, right? You're eating these vegetables, you're cooking them funky, they smell bad. You eat these weird foods, you don't eat these foods. You engage in a very calm lifestyle, including things like going to bed at 9. And at the same time, I'm sitting here reading Dr. Wilson's articles, and he's talking about elves and all this weird stuff. And I'm like, okay, for some reason, this guy who's talking about elves and all this other woo-woo crazy stuff, if I showed this to a large percent of the population, they would say, this guy's a quack, just run the other way. And, you know, at the same time, I'm like, well, I believe this. I believe what is happening. So during that 7 month of resistance, I have, at work, every day, I have like a Chrome browser. If anybody's familiar with that, you can kind of pin a tab so that every time you open the browser, that website that you have pinned goes to it every time you open it. And the article was the Call to Awaken article. I pinned it. And every day I would read it. And I would ponder if it was what I was going to do with my life. And I read it every single day. And some days I read it and I was like, yeah, this is going to happen. And some days I read it and I was like, you know, I don't really have to do this. I think there's a way around this. You know, I just kind of do I'll just like take some of the tenets of the program and I'll be all right. But yeah, I decided that I'm going to do it. And I think that the other key driver to that is it is a spiritual path, right? It is a call to awaken. Nutritional balancing really isn't for everybody at their part in their soul journey, you know? And that was something I didn't really get at first too, because again, when I first started it, I was pretty happy with everything. Things were going in the right direction. I was feeling good. I was reading about it a little bit. We're curing everything from like cancer to like Alzheimer's and all this other amazing stuff, right? Autism. And I was like, come on guys, like this is cool, check it out. And everybody's like, yeah, I don't know. No, I don't think so. I'm good, thanks. And I was kind of mind boggled because I was like, come on, like just check the evidence, right? But you know, to be fair, a lot of people say that about their diet lifestyle regimens, you know, yogis and vegans and you know all those other kind of people, like they all swear by it, right? And I've never really been one to push a certain lifestyle on anybody. You know, like I know I talked to some people who have been through this and they're like, yeah, I was the world's most hardcore vegan, I wanted everybody on it. And I was the world's most hardcore raw vegan, and I wanted everybody on it. And I did the keto, and it was the world's most hardcore keto, and I wanted everybody on it. And the paleo, and all that kind of stuff. So it is, I guess, in culture and society, like when people come at you with this, like, oh, this is the silver bullet, the cure-all, this is all you need to do. People have heard it before. They're skeptical. They don't necessarily believe it. But yeah, when it came to that call to awaken, it resonated with me, even though I fought it for a long time, just deciding that I was going to try to kind of make it a hybrid or not really do it, or, just kind of get by. But, yeah, I guess I wanted to share because two things, even if you're resisting, there is a level of acceptance that can occur months later. It might be even, years later. Some people might come across the program and it kind of sets them up, and then 5 years down the road, they get revisited by it, and it all comes full circle. But number two is don't get discouraged when you talk to your friends and family about it, and they just think you're crazy. Because, again, everybody's on their own spiritual path, and they're on their own part of the journey. And so it just might not be for them at that moment in time, or at this moment in time, or this life in time. It might come to them later. So, but also on the flip side of that, if it is resonating with you, if it is stirring something deep inside of you, go read that article, Call to Awaken, and see how you feel. So anyway, yeah, happy Friday, good weekend, peace.